Hi guys, and welcome back to the podcast Deeper Things, episode 3. Today I have with me, as promised, my first special guest. This is Silvia and I.
Hi everyone.
Alright, so today in this episode we wanted to address something, basically, so when you have friends, there can be fake friends and real friends, and I've talked a lot before about how the basis of this is kind of getting out of that trying to be someone who you're not, so not being fake, just being genuine. So today we wanted to talk about how to tell who your real friends are, because sometimes it kind of comes hard to tell who is actually your close, genuine friend. So we'll be talking about that and how to pick good friends to have. Anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, everybody knows what fake friends are, but, we've kind of come up with a couple points, well, not a couple, more than a couple, but a lot of points about how you can really tell if someone's your true friend and not.
Yeah, so we'll try to keep it pretty short. But basically, we just wanted to talk about what it's like to have a genuine real friend. And, Sylvia's my good friend. We've known each other for a few years now. And just, I've had to come to a new school and kind of, make friends with new people. And just, it's good to know that you have a good sense of telling who your real friends are so that you can pick good friends and know, red flags when you see them. And just kind of pick and choose wisely your friends. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm sure Sylvia feels the same way about her friends.
Yeah, I do, and it's especially because now I realize, looking back on all the friends I've had throughout elementary school and middle school, and now I feel like I'm at a point where I can choose what friends are going to be good for me and not going to be fake, and then people who will actually, care for me and who are real friends. So.
Yeah, I feel like at this point I have a good set friend group that I know that they're real friends, and of course some people are closer than others, but it's just nice to have the security of knowing that all of your friends aren't going to turn around one day and stab you in the back. I hope that never happens to me at least.
That'd be awful.
Yeah, I know. So basically we just wanted to talk kind of about that and our experience and how we've been able to choose good friends. So we have a few points. Basically, we'll start with how real friends are just genuine and they will stick around you no matter what. They're not going to leave you. Especially now, we're coming of that age where, it's easy to make new friends and just kind of go out of your comfort zone and make new friends. People are starting to get, significant others, you could say. But basically, a real friend will stick by you whether they have new friends, if they're making new friends or doing new things, getting a job or whatever, or they have a significant other now. They're not going to leave and do or spend all their time with the other people in their lives. If you have a good friend that you've known for a while, they will stick by you. They're going to at least go out of their way to make time with you and make sure that you guys spend time with each other so that you can still continue to build the relationships that you have.
Yeah, and also I feel like, especially these days, a lot of people make friends just because of their, because of the person's status on, I don't know, social media platforms.
Yeah, for clout.
Yeah, basically they make friends for clout, and they leave all their actual good friends, and then the friends that they end up making for clout, per se, don't actually stick around, and then they're left with nothing. That's really common, so.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, like you said, go out of their way to choose friends. I feel like we've kind of lost sense of, what having a real friend is. People just kind of bounce off of each other to get higher up. In just socially or to get more clout, I guess you could say. And it's just, I feel like there's no point in that. You would want to have friends that'll stick by you, because if you can have so much clout or be very successful, but your friends, if they're not actually people that you can talk to, then what is the point of having them? What's the point of being up there if you feel alone? So yeah, we just want to talk about that and how they're not going to leave you. Their actions, the biggest thing I can think of, that will show if you have a real friend, is that their actions are going to speak way louder than words. I know it's a common, cliche, but it's going to show, what they do will show that they care about you. So, basically, if you are a priority for them, I understand that people get busy and we have a lot of things that we have to worry about nowadays, but it's just that just simply making time for your friend or, shooting them a text, hey, I've been thinking about you, do you want to get together sometime? Just making sure that you make time for each other. I feel like just being genuine in that and wanting to grow your relationship is a staple of a true friend.
Yeah, and also, not being selfish goes along with that, because when your actions are speaking louder than your words, like Desi said, your actions are going to show that you don't only care about your own needs, you're also caring about your friend. And you're not putting what you want to do over what they want to do, or what you want in a friendship over what they want in a friendship. So
Exactly. There has to be like communication. Basically, one of the biggest things is if you can communicate openly with your friend, you have to be able to talk about things that are close to you, things that you need from the friendship. Basically, like both sides have to mostly understand like how you guys fit into each other's lives, and I feel like it's important to not be selfish and make sure that like each person's needs are being met and that each of them can take something away, because if one person is like getting up and being able to do things and the other person just kind of stuck there in the dust, then that's not obviously not a real friendship. So like one of those things is just making sure that you can tell your friend things whenever they happen to you. Everyone needs like a confidant and someone that they can talk to and speak about personal issues whenever you're going through a hard time, and just being able to tell someone that freely, knowing that they are not going to tell anyone. And if you tell them something personal, just knowing that you don't even have to say like make sure not to tell anybody, just like that's kind of unspoken. And I know some people can be blabbermouths. I'm like one of those friends that feels like I need to tell people things, but like just knowing that you can be confident in telling people personal things and just having that level of vulnerability that you can have with each other, I feel like that's really important to like become close to somebody, because if you just put up all these walls and you're not vulnerable, you're not going to make those close friends, because that's what eventually like forms bonds between friendships. You know what I mean? I feel like that's really important, just to have a good friend that you can talk to.
But on the flip side of that, also, you want to make sure that you're open to talk to your friends, because if you're not willing to talk to your friends about anything and being there for them, then you're the one that's being a fake friend. Because I know, like, a lot of people our age, they don't like telling their parents things, or they think that they can relate more to their friends and that their friends will be able to give them better advice than their parents did. Because, I mean, most people's parents our age grew up, like, I don't know, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of stuff is different then, but you should always be able to talk to your friends and be open to talking to them, because the advice that you give them will probably have a really big impact on them, and they may only have you as someone to talk to in their life.
Exactly. Like you might be the only person that your friend's going to tell something big to and important to, and to know that like you might be the only source that they're getting to kind of make these life choices or decisions, or just think about things, like if they're having like doubts about themselves or other people, like to know that you're kind of the pillar that they can lean on is really important. And I feel like we can't take that for granted, because like you said, if we're like going off and doing other things and being busy all the time, our friends need to know that we're there and here for them. I feel like that's an important thing, that we just need to know that we're here for each other. And especially like I know that everybody gets into arguments. I feel like half of my friends, I just argue with them all the time. And I know it's like sarcastic bickering, and like I love them all to death, but just making sure that like if something big does happen and if you get into an argument, that's not going to end the friendship. There's not going to be grudges held. Especially like also just making sure that you can openly talk about things, like your feelings. Like if you're mad at your friend, you can talk to them about it and they'll be okay with like changing that. They're not going to be super defensive.
Yeah, exactly. And I know for example, one of my friends who I've known for a while, like whenever we get into an argument, it's like hard not, like, even if I'm like still kind of mad about something, it's so hard not to like just move on and forget about it, because you want them in your life still, and you want to be able to talk to them, and this argument's kind of just like a stumbling block in your friendship. And if you feel that way, you know that they're a good friend, because not being able to talk to them about something makes you almost feel worse than the argument does.
Exactly. So, like when you're like making a point becomes greater or like more important to you than actually being able to talk to the person. Like I know I couldn't go like a day or two arguing with one of my really close friends, and that's how you can tell who your real friends are, just knowing that even if you get into an argument, like you want to talk to them, you want to get past it immediately. And if there's a problem, just being able to address that from both sides and being able to hear each other out without arguing. I feel like a lot of times nowadays, like a sure sign that someone is not your true friend would be like if you're having a problem and you want to go to them, first of all, if you feel like you can't talk to them about that, or an issue or an argument that you might be having, if you feel like you can't talk to them about that, that's definitely like a sign that you have to at least work on that. And then if you actually say something and they like get mad at you or put up walls and get super defensive, I feel like that's something that you at least have to work through. And if they're not willing to drop that and get over their pride, essentially, then that's probably how you know that they're not really a true friend.
Definitely. And I think my most important way of telling if someone is a fake friend is if they get upset about like my success and happiness, and if I get jealous of theirs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, I know a lot of people will get ahead of other people at this point in life, well, whatever point of life you're in. It's just really easy for some people to like hit a good break or like achieve something that maybe you've been wanting. But like, I feel like, and this is like 100% for me how I know that I have good friends, like something just like emotionally being happy for them, like matching their mood kind of. So like if your friend has a success or a really big thing happening to them or something they've been waiting for and they finally get it, like being happy, just genuinely sharing in their joy. And like if they're hurting, you hurt too. That's how you know that you have a good friend, that you guys are bonded, and that's someone that is not going to like easily just give up on you or you're going to forget about them. I feel like just having that bond of kind of hurting when they're hurting or being happy when they're successful is kind of like the key thing to having a real friend.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's like natural for you to like wish that you were in their place sometimes when something good happens to them, but like if you're constantly thinking about that and trying to ruin it for them just because you want what they have, then that's obviously a problem. Like, you know, always be happy for their success, but if your jealousy's overtaking that, then like that's an actual problem.
Yeah, at that point, and I know a lot of people like have genuine friends, but you can struggle with like being jealous for them. But like if you can't get that out of your head, that's something that you personally need to work on. Because if they haven't done anything, like a true friend's not going to rub it in your face when they like might maybe like jokingly, but like they're not gonna rub it in your face when they achieve something that like maybe you've been wanting. But like if they've been trying to do something and you get jealous of them, I mean obviously that's normal, but just remember that you kind of have to take that and work on that yourself. Just like whatever like your way of coping with that is, like talking to God or just trying to make sure that you understand that that's not as important as a friendship, of course. So just finding a way to get through that and over that is really important. And just like we said before, I feel like a real friend will always stick by you. They will have your back. Basically, you know that if you haven't talked in a while even, or like basically they've been busy, you know that you can fall back on them to help you out in a tough situation. Or just like if you need somebody to talk to and if you're feeling lonely, you know that you'll have them there. And it's not like about their like busyness level. If they can't respond to you right away, that's fine. But just knowing that you have somebody that you can always stick by, that will always have your back and just genuinely cares about you a lot and just loves you. I feel like that's very important.
Definitely.
And just, this is something that I've struggled with before, but like when I have a close friend, sometimes I'll overthink things completely. I'm like a worrier and I overthink everything. But just not having doubts about your friendship. Like friendship is like both people have to work at things, and just I know that sometimes I can like have doubts or like start to doubt like, oh, am I a good friend, or like are we really good friends, do they even like me or care about me? That's kind of ridiculous, and it's something that I'm working on for sure. But just like a real friend, if you have a real friend, you're not constantly going to be doubting like if they feel the same way about you. You will know. I feel like that's, if you've said it or not, I feel like it's something that you need to like get out of the way. Just knowing that you guys are both going to be there for each other, that you both care about each other, and it's mutual, the love that you have. You shouldn't be doubting that. And if you are, it might be a personal thing. Like I've said, I've struggled with that. Just like doubting myself, usually it just becomes kind of a thing. But just making sure that you are confident that you're both really good friends.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that, because all the friendships that I've had that I've doubted if they, you know, feel the same about wanting to be my friend, most of those ones have failed. So if you have that feeling, obviously try and like pursue your friendship, but sometimes just friendships don't work out in the end. So.
Yeah, especially like toxic friendships. Oh, I forgot about that. That's like a whole other thing that we could talk about. But just like when things kind of get bad, when you know that like the energy between you two is just being not good, then that's kind of a thing. Yeah, like one-sided friendships or anything, basically just like that's toxic, and that if you feel like you're putting all of your work into the friendship and they're kind of failing to meet you on their end, or like meet you in the middle, and just friends that like some people just have bad energy or bad chemistry with each other, and just you can try it, and maybe in a different world you would be able to be friends, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Just personalities become too different, or it kind of becomes a problem, like the pride of each person.
Or if they're bossing you around too.
Yeah, of course. If they're trying to take advantage of you,
yeah,
oh my
that's
gosh.
the word.
Yeah, that's, just know that like it's okay to cut friendships off, even if you've had them for a while, and it can be a really hard thing to do, but sometimes it's better for you and the other person, and especially if you feel like you're just mentally like can't handle this or take it anymore, just knowing that it's okay to cut that off if you need to. And I feel like, that's pretty much it. Just also that friends that are real, like genuine friends, I feel like our friend group is really good with this.
Yeah.
At least the friends that we have, they will just help you like progress. They want to like keep you accountable for things. You know, you can ask them to keep you accountable, and they will be there for you. They just want you to grow, and they want to see you move forward, and they just want to grow with you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
they just want to like
definitely.
share with what you're doing and just help you out with that. I feel like those are kind of all staples of who your real friends are. And I don't know, do you have anything to add? I feel like that's pretty much it.
I think we covered most of what we wanted to.
So yeah, basically that's just how to tell who your real friends are. Trust, honesty, just making sure that those are important in your friendships, and not having a toxic relationship. So I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of Deeper Things. Thanks Sylvia for coming on here.
Can I exit this?
What?
Thank you for watching Deeper
yeah.
Things. Come back for episode 4.
Alright guys, thank you so much for listening. Bye.